It's your girl, Tia Shasha High, the host of Millennial High, where the trend-setting millennial comes for motivation, inspiration, and deep conversation. Today's show, we have Naomi Mitchell, founder and CEO of The Tapestry, a premier youth and urban garden, and we'll vibe about how she made her dreams a reality and the importance of investing in your community. A little bit about Millennial High. This show serves as a platform for those who inspire and provoke others to go beyond what they ever thought possible for themselves. So if you have an inspirational, uplifting, thought-provoking message you want to share with the millennials of the world, I want you. Be on the show. Email me at millennialhigh@gmail.com and let's connect. But first, as always, I want to play a song for my guest, and I love this part of the show because it kind of like sets the tone for the show. And after I choose a song because based on me getting to know my guest a little bit and doing my research and reading their blog spots or their websites, their books, and something comes up and it's always a song. I'm like, oh my God, they remind me of the song. I love music. So Naomi reminds me of this song that I love so much, and I hope she enjoys it. It is Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire, because this girl is on fire. I love that song. If you are just tuning in, you were just listening to Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire, and that describes my guest in the studio today. Naomi, what's up, girl?
Oh my goodness, everything.
Listen, we have an hour, so you have time to tell me, okay?
Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay. Strap your seatbelt.
And Naomi, she's so awesome. I found out about her and her mission and her organization, The Tapestry, through Sharice Prince, who is also in the studio.
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
And she wrote me, and I'm like, your friend is amazing, and I have to get her on my show.
She is.
Definitely. And I feel like Naomi is one of the special ones, someone who has the ability to go beyond the needs of herself in order to serve the community.
Yeah, definitely. That's service. We talked about that, right? Service is a lifestyle. So not just something that we do and pick up and put down, but really to live it out loud. So
yeah, I love that. Service is a lifestyle. You should coin that.
I don't know if I'm the first. I don't know. I don't want to take it from anybody, but it's definitely kind of my motto. It's words to live by for me.
Well, a little bit about Naomi. While she was obtaining her dual degree at the University of Pittsburgh, she co-founded a peer-to-peer mentoring organization. And that kind of, I feel like, maybe led you into your passion of service.
Absolutely. So my mom was a youth leader when I was like a kid, but getting my hands like really into the community and youth and learning how to like build that collaboration between different organizations, that launched it for me.
I love it. And then during your 11-year career, you developed...
I'm a baby and a big forever at the same time.
You developed programming. She developed programming for national organizations such as the NAACP. You lent your expertise towards the redevelopment of the African American History Museum in Smithfield, New Jersey, and you've done so much more. But I want to let you talk about that. Like, that's what that show is for. Okay. I want you to just say it all. In this hour. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Naomi. Thank you, Sharice. So let's just start things off the way I like it. All right. So talk to me a little bit about, who you are and what inspires you.
Who am I? I am a Black woman. I'm a leader. I'm a social entrepreneur. And service and youth inspire me, advocacy specifically. So I'm really just passionate about making sure that our community learns how to support itself, invests in itself, and invests in our future, which I believe is absolutely the youth. So that is kind of my focus. And then social entrepreneurship. So everyone needs to make money, right? We need to support our lifestyles and our households. But at the end of the day, if you're making money and not helping the community, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. So my goal is to solve community problems while making money. And that's kind of what bred the tapestry, is breaking the mold for nonprofit service.
Amazing. So let's just start with the beginning of it all. How did it all start? And when I mean like, how did it all start? Like from your college years, you know, it seemed as though you were really involved in the community. And then you said that your mother played a part in that. So let's talk about that a little bit more.
Okay, so I'm an only child from a single parent home. Shout out to my mom. And she was a servant. You know, we were really involved in the church, and I just watched her groom young people and get involved with getting young people off the streets and really involved in kind of the work of the church. And when I got to school, it was just, how can we make change, right? We're here, we have this great opportunity. I came from high school and we were doing kind of things here and there in the community, but when you get into undergrad, it's like immersive, right? So you're there, there's activities fair, and all these different orgs are pulling you all these different directions. So it was like, what can I do that will make a difference? And they were already starting this organization called the College After School Team, but they needed founders and people to actually put in the work. So I signed up, and we paired college freshmen with high school freshmen and had them kind of traverse their 4 years together. And I was really kind of instrumental with a whole team of other folks. It was not just me, but a team of folks really getting the job done. And I loved it. It was something that I could do every single day, show up at the high school, hang out with the kids, motivate them, have conversations, just challenge them, engage with that critical thinking, and just help propel them towards purpose rather than just being. So
I love that. And actually, Mark Zuckerberg, I think he was at Harvard and he had a commencement speech, and he's saying that, you know, millennials, we know how to, you know, live in our purpose, but it's, you know, helping other people, making them aware of what their purpose is. You know what I mean? I'm going to actually find the exact quote, because I read it this morning. I'm like, wow, that's deep, but that's exactly what you're saying.
It's powerful. I mean, I can go out and I can try my absolute best to carry the city on my shoulders, right? Can't do it. You need other people. And to get other people really engaged, they have to be invested and then understand what the outcome of that work is going to be. So I can't just get you to say, yo, sign up with me and do this thing. No, I need you to really like feel the passion and get involved in the vision and see the outcome of you actually putting in all this work. So when you unlock passion in young people with their wealth of energy and time and just love for life, it's exponential. They take that into their community, they take that into their school, they take that to their friends, and they're like, listen, look what I'm doing, we're doing this, we're doing that. So when you unlock that potential in them, it just flows, and it's amazing.
So talk to me a little bit about why you feel as though that's important, because, you know, I feel like just a lot of people today, it seems they're more interested in what's happening with themselves, you know? So why are you so steadfast in using your time and your energy to gift to others?
It's really about kind of creating a legacy, right? So I don't know why. It's been from a young age. I have been very serious about life, and maybe it's because I've made mistakes and I've seen the outcome of those mistakes, and I've been in a position where I didn't have somebody to talk to. I didn't have folks to reach out to who were really willing to take the time and invest, because it's one thing to say, oh, I'll go mentor or I'll go do this, but to really be consistent in that, it takes commitment. And when you create that for someone else, it's meaningful in their lives. And I've seen the impact that it's had in my life, and I want to make sure that our young people have it. And a lot of folks are kind of invested in the early childhood education, and a lot of folks are kind of trying to catch the adults when they get there. But for me, I feel like this is a realm that's untapped. Like that 11 to 15 age group is like, you're on the precipice of huge decisions. These decisions that you're going to make, they're going to change your trajectory.
Yep.
So if you are fully equipped, your character is being developed, you have a mindset and a goal, and you're working towards your passion and your purpose, it's going to be hard for all these distractions to pull you off of where you're supposed to be because you're focused.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to do.
And let me tell you something. My daughter, she's 11, and I feel like this is a vital time because I see, as a mother, like you see that slight change in your child, right? You see like, okay, wow, she's not really like acting like a child anymore, right? And they're not like a teenager, but it's just like they're trying to see who they are becoming, like who can I be? They're pushing the boundaries sometimes.
And you know what? Adults talk about it all their time, especially when I say I want to work with teens. They're like, are you sure? Like, do you know what's going on with these teens? And I'm like, I absolutely know, because you're coming into yourself, you're defining yourself. And as much as we sow into them in their youth, now they have to define themselves. So they're going to push the boundaries. They're going to try new things. And it's okay. And we support that, but we want you to do it fully equipped with a toolkit that will help you manage these decisions and understand what could be the outcome, good or bad. And understand that when you invest positively into your life, positive things will flow back. So if you focus on that, it's literally setting their firm foundation for the future.
Exactly. I 100%, 110% agree. Because let me tell you something. And I feel like the reason why, so right now, if you think of like the self-help industry, it's like a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's because we're all the people that didn't have that foundation set for us when we were 11, 12, 13 years old.
And then you're trying to backtrack.
And then you're trying to backtrack.
Grab this and grab that. It is imperative that we sow into our youth, because they literally are the next generation of groundbreakers. And what are they breaking ground in? What are they continuing? What are they building? If we put the correct tools in their hands and introduce them to what service can really be, because it's not just selflessness, right? It is selflessness, but it's also engaging, and you get so much more from giving to other people. Like when you go out and serve, and people talk about it all the time, like I'll go out and I'll feed at the soup kitchen, or I'll do this and I'll do that, and you come back and you're like, I feel great.
Right. It's selfish, actually. We say that it's a selfless act, but it's selfish, because you feel so great after, you know what I mean? Like after you've given a piece of yourself.
Yep, exactly.
You feel great.
You feel so great.
Yep.
It's amazing. And you're creating these relationships with these kids, and these relationships literally go on for years and years and years, and you can watch them just develop and blossom, and know that you're planting the seed. And I love to talk about planting the seed, because a lot of times, especially with the teens, you don't always see the immediate outcome, right? You had this conversation with them, you sat down with them for a couple hours, and then all of a sudden the next day they're cussing you out, and you're like, what just happened? But if you plant the seed, it may not be your job to see it to fruition. Someone else may have to come along and water it. Somebody else might have to come along and prune it. So if you're just planting positive seeds in their life, it's going to come to fruition later. But
and that is why I support Naomi's program so much, is because she
and that's
is
Sharice talking. This is
I'm
Sharice.
sorry. Hi.
She's actually a board member, right?
Yep. And I just feel so passionate, along with Naomi, about her program, because she is just providing the awareness that children between the ages of 10 and 15, we are not privy to those type of just points about just financial advice, and we don't think about, of course we don't, we're children, and we just hear about money by the conversations that we hear our parents having, which we know nothing.
Right.
So she has just so many aspects of her program that will just provide awareness and just
the well-rounded individual.
Exactly.
There you go. And I love it. It's really.
And there's something I love that you say, like planting a seed. I love that, because it reminds me of Les Brown. I don't know if you know Les Brown. I love Les Brown, right?
I do.
So there's this movie he did. It was just like, like The Secret kind of like did all these things, but it's a movie called Beyond the Secret. And in this, he talks about, it's a different type of process to make a bamboo tree grow.
Okay.
He's like, you plant the seed, you cultivate it, you cultivate the soil over a course of 5 years.
Wow.
And within 6 weeks, after that 5 years, that bamboo tree grows like hundreds of feet tall, something like that, right? So he's saying like it's so good, and he's just like, you know what? He's like you said, sometimes you don't see the immediate results, and sometimes it's not really your place to see the immediate results.
Absolutely.
But knowing that you have that seed in the ground, it will like flourish. Like it totally will flourish. And then he even like brings up a point where he's like, listen, he's like, you know, sometimes because people don't see immediate results, they give up. And they let their dream die in negative conversations. They let their dream die in self-doubt. They let their dream die in fear. Like all because they don't see that sprout yet.
And
right?
the number two killers, self-doubt and fear.
Exactly. And like
self-doubt and fear.
Yeah. Girl, we can be
I tell this girl, when this girl calls me, she'll call me with something negative and I'll say, nope, we are not doing that. Like what give me the positive outcome that you would like to happen. And that's what we're going to focus on. We're not thinking about that.
I'm telling
no.
It's so hard. It's hard. And we're not saying these things like it's easy, right? But you have to kind of set that foundation and expectation for yourself to stay on the positive. And then when you can't, because sometimes reality kind of just starts smacking you in the face, have a team that supports you and say, listen, no, you're awesome, you're amazing, I believe in you, we're gonna get this done.
Right.
It's awesome.
Right. And that's, I kind of call like my sounding board, right? Like you have someone that, I actually had someone on the show a few weeks ago, and she said that she has a friend just like how you have in Charisse, and she's like, you know, she'll call her and she'll vent, and then her friend's like, are you done? She's like, are you done? Okay, good. Now that you're done, you got that off your chest. How are we going to move that into something productive? How are we going to transform that energy into something that's beneficial to you and the second party that you're talking about?
Absolutely.
Right?
It's amazing and it's necessary, right? It's those accountability partners. I mean, I literally had a day where I showed up at their door with my baby and I'm like, I'm stressed, and literally they let me vent, and then they're like, okay, get over it, because you're still going to do it. It's already done. It's still coming to fruition. Focus. Whatever you're seeing in this realm that you feel like is going to hold you back, let it go. Because if you continue to speak negativity, it will never come to fruition. So focus on what you're trying to do. Focus on the goal, and just allow all of that negative energy to just move out the way.
Just
and
dissipate.
And that's what I told her. I said, how could you have so much positivity on one end of the train and then so much negativity on the other, and we're not going to get anywhere. We're going to be stuck. You got positive, right? We're going to go nowhere.
It's like a tug of war.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
And negativity always wins in that tug of war.
And that tug of war, it really does, and that's the reason why, like, who you have around you is so important, and that's why I love the tapestry, because, like, okay, and let's go back to, you kept on saying something about a toolkit, right? I want to talk about that toolkit, because I kind of feel like it's not enough for children to know how to, like, okay, so let me tell you a story about this. Just with technology alone, and like, I'm pretty, savvy when it comes to technology, right? But I can tell you that my daughter knows so much more than I do, right? So she knows these things. Like, she knows how to use anyone's cell phone. She knows how, like, there's one little baby I know. Oh my God, he's so cute. He's like 4 years old. He can pull up YouTube and the video that he wants in a heartbeat, right? But like, I kind of feel like, okay, enough of what is tangible. Like, how do they have a toolkit for something that helps them make decisions within themselves? Like, is that what that is? Conversation.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. So, oh my goodness. Thank you for going there. So let's talk just a little bit about the program and what it does, right? So we talked about how we want to try to form the well-rounded individual. What goes into that, right? It's about, the foundation is always character. Who are you as a person? What are your goals? What are your standards? What are your morals, ideals? And we're doing that through Sean Covey. So Stephen Covey wrote a book, his father, called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm sure that folks are familiar with that. His son adapted that for teens. So it's 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And it talks about self-esteem, communication, friendship, parenting, the things that teens are dealing with. It literally goes through and gives them the tools to make that a reality in their life. So that's one of the kind of pillar pieces for our program. Another text that we're doing is the Teen Money Manual. So we're dealing with finances, earning, spending, protecting, and investing your money. So like I said, it's an entrepreneurial program, and that's the focus. So what are they going to do with this money at 11 that they're earning, right? We're going to teach them exactly how to manage it. And then the other part, you talked about social media, is a book, and it's called The Really Professional Internet Person. It's about a young lady who became a YouTube sensation in middle school.
Wow.
And depth in that. So
wow.
The business end of it, the experiences that she had, how to navigate that kind of realm at that age. Those are our 3 pieces that are going to really get discussed in a group setting in the program. And that's just a piece of it in the summer. But we're really going to sit down and have those conversations and really ask our young people, how do you feel about this? What do you think about this?
Right.
What are your parameters for friendship? What is a friend to you?
Right.
What defines it? And how do you hold your friends accountable? How do you hold yourself accountable to be a good friend?
Yep.
So those are the things that we're going to delve into.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting when you were like, what's your morals, you know? And I feel like, okay, so as a parent, you know, we have to instill that in our children. But like, even though you can tell them these things, they still have their own mind.
Absolutely.
So I love that you're posing that question to them because it makes them feel like a person.
Absolutely.
And not just being talked to all the time.
It is paramount that we understand that our young people are thinking, reasoning beings. My bachelor's degree is in psychology, so I get it. I understand what the books say about the capacity for learning and understanding in young people. But I also work with young people on a daily basis, and I understand that we can reason with them, we can talk to them, and there is something to be said for the way that they're able to handle themselves. Like, you know the difference between right and wrong.
Absolutely.
You know, and one of my main things in life, this is kind of a sidebar, but it's talking about, like, folks love to call wrong right for some reason. Like, they'll know that they're doing something wrong, but they'll be like, no, I'm good. Like, this is just what
Justify.
I do. No, you're not. Exactly. Don't justify that. Like, if you're going to be wrong, just be wrong and admit, listen, I decided to be wrong right now. I can respect that.
Right.
But with our kids, if you kind of leave that gray area, then it's like, wait, I don't know. But if you encourage them to define it for themselves, what is your right? What is your wrong?
Right.
What are you holding yourself accountable to? Because a lot of times they haven't pondered these questions.
Right. And they don't. And I agree with you 100%. They don't. And like, I also like the fact that you're going to be talking about finances as well, because I know, like, just growing up, and when you come from like a single parent household, money is always a topic, and not enough money is always an issue.
Right.
And then but you don't understand like what you're doing with your children when you continuously, we can get, because I don't have enough money. And then I like, sometimes I play that same dialogue with my daughter. I'm like, dear, don't do that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? As a child, but I want her to have a different relationship with money.
Absolutely.
You know, than I have. I want it to be different for her, and I love that you're instilling that. That's awesome.
That's my favorite piece.
It literally,
Right.
I mean, there's certain things that kind of define your understanding of the world, right? And money and how you manage money and your relationship with money is a major piece, right?
Yep.
A lot of young people, especially, they're kind of leaning towards worshiping money because they think that money is the key to everything, when really money is a tool. It's something to be used to further a purpose. So if you're not utilizing this tool properly, it can break you or make you.
Right, because it's directly tied to your
Right.
emotions.
Yep,
And
it
we
is.
have to realize that as well.
It really is. You know what, Sharice, you're so right.
It
Yes.
really is. I know
The
how I
use
feel
of
when
it.
I feel broke.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Leave me alone.
Right.
Right. I'm just going to sit here and deal with the fact that I can't do anything else right now.
And I tell people, like, listen, I'm probably not the person you want to be around right now. Like,
Right.
no,
Life
you're right.
gets real, right? And if you don't have the right relationship with money, if you think that if you spend your life chasing money rather than purpose, you're going to not only be broke, but you're also going to be broken.
Oh,
and then when you get the money, you're still going to be broken because you're not going to have the tools and the understanding of how to use it. You have
Yes.
all these people that I was watching, like Filthy Rich Life or something like that last last night for hours and just watching all this crazy stuff the millionaires are doing. And it was just like, there's folks out there who get the money, and that's cool. You chase the money, you got the money.
Right.
Now you're acting like a fool because you don't know how to utilize it properly, and you haven't spent the time doing the work to find out what exactly you want to do in this world. What is your impact going to be? What are you going to leave behind? So if you literally have the opportunity to get these young people young and talk to them and encourage them to answer these questions, right? It's all about the conversation. I'm going to give you an open-ended question, and I want you to just think about it. Give me an answer in any way you want to give it to me. Write a poem, write a rap, draw a picture.
I love that.
Make a clay sculpture with, I don't care. Just answer this question for you, true to you.
Right.
Because it's going to define you. And that's how we're going to build character in these young people and really help them understand so that when they get the money, because you're going to get some money. Like, this program is designed, it's self-sustainable.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But this program is designed to make these kids a lot of money, and not later, but now. It's about utilizing your passion and your purpose now to gain some income. Right. Once you have this money, what are you going to do with it? Right. I would be remiss to say, all right, guys, let's go out here and let's make all this money, and then leave you out here with piles of money in the city of Trenton with nothing to do with it. Right. Because then now you're a target. Now you're being victimized. Now I'm setting you up for failure. We're not going to do that. Yep. We're going to teach them how to earn, spend, protect, and invest your money.
Yes,
invest your money from age 11. You talk about the young man who just signed the deal with the NBA about his bow ties.
Yes, I read that.
I'm constantly sharing these articles about young people doing things because I want to change the parameters. I want a paradigm shift
is necessary.
In our community.
It's necessary. Totally.
We are so limited in our thoughts and just the things that we think that we are able to do, and we can do literally anything.
Literally. And not just watch people do it. And like, I tell my daughter this all the time, I'm like, babe, I'm like, you create something. I know watching Musical.ly videos is fun.
Oh boy.
I know that's fun. I know watching YouTube prank stuff is fun, but I'm like, you're watching people be creative. I'm like, you create. I'm like, you take your time. Like, I went in on her the other day, and I know she's sitting out there listening to it, so she's mad. But I'm like, babe, I'm like, listen, you can read, you can write. I'm like, you have a mind. I'm like, create. I'm like, and she's such a great poet. Like, she can write like really great songs. Like, I'm like, wow, like, you're good, right? But I'm like, there's no reason you should ever be bored.
Right.
Especially when you there's no reason you should ever say I'm bored. I'm like, I cannot take the world. Like, you know, kids always say, but I'm bored. No, honey, you can think, you can read and write, you can write me a poem. Then do something.
That is why I say we talked about this. I think we talked about this off air. My hobbies are my jobs, and that's what I want in these young people.
Right.
What do you love to do? What are you good at? The facility literally is going to have in place folks who are just well-versed in different areas, the arts, web design, every realm of interest for these young people. We're going to try to cultivate it so they can literally start their own businesses now. Not later, not, go to high school, get good grades, go to college, get a job. Right now, if you're into photography, let's put a camera in your hands, give you some instruction, go conquer. It's really that simple. They have the time. They have the energy. All they need is the tools and the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So let's give it to them. And let's sow into them now and not later. That is literally I spent a long time thinking about this. Okay, that's what I'm going to say.
I love it.
I spent a very, very long time trying to kind of crack this paradigm in every single way. And one of the things that I realized is that we're always telling our kids later, next year, next month, after high school, after college, later on down the line. Invest now, right? Plant the seed now, but you will never see it to fruition in the immediate future. That's not what we're saying at all right now. We're saying right now, what are you passionate about? Let's cultivate that. And if your mind changes, that's cool. Join another club.
Exactly. It's okay for your mind. It's okay.
And kids want instant gratification. It's like, you know, at that age, you can't tell a child that they will see something 5 years later. They're like, 5 years? That's old. I'm going to be old then. You know, we all want instant gratification in all honesty, but especially at that, they don't even understand, like, patience. It's
like I want it.
I want it now.
And because I honestly, like our children are like tuned in and tapped into to something else, and they know that they can get it now. Like, and I think that that's where that comes from. That
Absolutely.
impatience, like they know that they can
It's a
get
culture
it
of
now.
instant gratification.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about a little bit of instant gratification.
Let's do it.
Right? So, urban garden piece, sustainability piece. We are running our urban garden in lab controlled, climate controlled settings and based in hydroponics. So they're growing from seed to sale, restaurant quality herbs and butterhead lettuce, all types of, they're growing things, right? But with hydroponics, you don't have to wait 6 months to see your stuff grow. Basil is every 8 days.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about in theory, we actually say, hey, go into the garden, plant this seed right now, and what's today? It's Sunday. Next Monday, you can harvest it and sell it for $2 an ounce. So it's not later, it's watch your money grow right now.
Right. I love that. And I love urban gardening. My auntina, she was here a couple weeks ago, and she is part of this program in Philadelphia, and they like cultivate, they say they cultivate the ground, but then they're also cultivating the community. And it's something that you do with your parents. So you can have that, you can have that interaction with your parents in a different light. Cool. They're not just instructing you where to go, what to do. Don't do this. No. They're like, babe, let's grow something together. So I love that about, and I want like a specific show just on urban gardening. Like I'm so in love. When we talk about that, I'm like, wait, do you know?
You know what? Staff your weakness, folks. That's another thing about entrepreneurship. Please staff your weakness. We're hiring someone to handle the urban gardening piece, but the goal is to really allow them to get their hands dirty, right? Even with hydroponics, there's no soil involved, but you have to harvest. You've got to watch this plant grow. You got to cultivate it. You got to make sure the pH levels are right, the nutrient levels are right. You're cultivating.
And even the science behind hydroponics is awesome for them to learn.
STEM.
Yes.
STEM fields.
Exactly. It's awesome for them to learn. And I've just been obsessed with it. I'm telling you, so obsessed with it. But I've been watching like YouTube video after YouTube video about hydroponics and about urban gardening, because I was like, because I told my daughter, I was like, I want to do something like we have an apartment in the city. And I'm like, I want to do something in the apartment and
they have it.
And they have it. Yeah.
IKEA.
Yes.
All these different places you can literally bring it home. You don't have to do it on some huge scale.
Exactly.
You can literally grow some herbs, cook with them, taste it. Literally taste the fruits of your labor.
I love that. So there's something about that I just love so much.
And you know what? It's crazy. So I dibble and dabble in cooking, not as well as I would love to, but I'm not going to downplay myself. I can cook. But
she can,
you know, I can cook.
Can.
But I'm getting into fresh herbs, right?
Yeah,
and I was making lemon rosemary chicken, and I was using dried rosemary. And my mom was like, "Girl, it was slamming." So anyway, sorry. So I was using dried rosemary, and my mom was like, "Well, do you want some fresh rosemary?" And I'm like, "I mean, I guess whatever." She brought that rosemary home.
The freshness.
It just smelled up the kitchen. Like it was good when I used the dried rosemary, but when we literally brought the fresh herb, your fingers smell like it after you touch it. The food is just, it's amazing to introduce that. It's
now tell me a little bit about. How did you come up with this idea of the tapestry? Like, how was that formulated? You know, just give us a little bit about that, because I know that right now you're running a campaign, right?
Absolutely. We're fundraising. Ooh, scary word. Scary word. But I'm going to tell you how it started.
Yeah.
Right? So that 11 years of experience, I've been doing program development for everyone else. For 11 years, I've gone into these spaces and helped all these amazing organizations kind of grow their programs to the next level, and that's great, right? But there was always always a season, right? It started and it had to end, and regardless of how it ended, and I never had the ability to kind of see it through and maintain the integrity of my programs. So I spent that time I always knew I wanted to do youth development and start a youth center. That's great. But how do you sustain it? Right? There's a lot of places that just are like, okay, it's great. I love your idea, but how are we going to pay for this? Like, money is real. So I spent a long time trying to break the mold on the sustainability piece. How do we fund all of these wonderful excursions that we want to put our kids through? And I solved it. It took me a really long time, but I solved it. And it was to solve another problem that is profitable, right? So the overarching goal before was just figure out how to fund a youth center. Then it was, okay, well, just in my travels, I'm always on Facebook reading articles in the news, like just trying to see what's up and coming and what's new. And I discovered hydroponics. And I was like, this is amazing. So in my research and going to different hydro stores and talking to people, I asked the hydro guy. We have a consultant at Garden Indoors. Shout out to Chris at Garden Indoors in Bristol, PA. I went there and with my partner, and I said, listen, what is the problem with hydroponics, right? It all sounds good. We want to chase the dream, but what is going to be my number one problem with hydroponics? And it was, you're going to have too much. And I'm like, well, that's not really a problem. What do you mean, like, have too much? And he's like, the problem with hydroponics is that it grows so quickly that you have to be able to harvest it and sell it and get it out the door, or it's just going to sit there and rot, right? So I'm like, this sounds like a great way to fund a program, because now not only are they able to get involved and get in, it's all good to say, go start your business. Think about it. Write up a business plan. Maybe one day over the rainbow you'll do it, right? It's a whole nother thing to say, focus on your passion and your purpose. But while you do that, help us sustain us funding your passion and your purpose.
Wow, yeah.
So we're literally bringing that hydro piece in there, and it just adds everything that's necessary to the program. It brings life. We're addressing the issue of food scarcity in the urban community, right? When we talk about grocery stores being miles away. You go to the grocery store, you pick up an apple. It was picked 3 months ago, 5 months ago. Right. It's been shipped in from here, shipped in from there. We're literally growing fresh herbs and vegetables that can be harvested same day. We have control over the climate, so we don't have to kind of scale for that. We have control over the pests, so there's no pesticides involved. It's literally pure, real food,
right?
And we can send it home with our kids. So not only are we selling it, but we're giving these kids harvest baskets.
I like how you said real food, not genetically modified food.
Listen,
real food.
In the research, it literally it's gross what we're eating and what we're feeding our kids, right? And even our palate as adults, it's not where it needs to be, because we're not eating real food and we're eating old food. Okay, quick. Shelf life of basil, right? 3 to 5 days after harvest. It takes 7 days to get it there. So it's 55% of the nutrients are gone by the time you buy it. So even the fresh basil that you're buying that you think is amazing and smells so great and it's half dead. We can literally harvest it and say, hey, today's a harvest day. Check us out on the web. Come by, grab some lettuce, grab some basil, grab some rosemary. We're harvesting right now. It was harvested 5 hours ago. Come grab it.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what we're doing.
Partnerships with restaurants.
Exactly. Yep.
Grocery stores, fresh grocery stores.
Farm to table restaurants.
There is a vision.
There. And literally, it's an opportunity to put real, fresh, healthy food on the plates of not just the community members, right? But also the literally the city as a whole, because like Cherie said, and I thank you for bringing that, it's literally restaurants, it's community members, it's the kids taking the harvest baskets home, it's food into the community, and not eventually, but now.
Right, we gotta eat. We
gotta eat good food, real food, right? Okay, so then where's your space, and then how did you? Is it your property, or is it your building?
So it's not my property.
Okay, talk to me.
And I'm not going to say the location yet, but I will say it's in downtown Trenton.
Okay.
And I am working with the property owner. So he actually owns the building. It's a great guy. His name is Joe. I'll say that. And he's so patient with me because, like I said, we're still fundraising. So he's like, okay, I see your vision, but where's this money at? Right. But it's 13,000 square feet.
Wow.
It is huge. It's a warehouse space on the 3rd floor of this phenomenal building, and in the center of it is going to be a 1,200 square foot garden. So the lab is literally going to be the heartbeat of this space. 13 classrooms, a food prep area, everything these kids need. And one of the things that I talk about with the space is I want a wow factor, right?
Yeah.
I don't want them to just walk in and feel like somebody just threw something together and they're in this space. It's literally designed for teens. So the name The Tapestry is really, it's multi-level, but it's about the intersectionality of different kind of fields. But it's also about weaving together all of these different pieces to bring this program together. So inside of the tap, the walls, for the most part, that aren't like walls that need to be there, are going to be tapestries, so that we can pull them back and have this huge open space where they can just exist and be and be free. Catered to our teens.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Someone just sent over a message, and can you just simplest terms explain to the people what hydroponics is?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
No dirt, no soil. The nutrients go directly to the plant roots. So it's water, hydro, water. And literally, instead of us growing these plants in the dirt outside and kind of being controlled by heating and cooling and all of that with the weather, it's in a lab. And we literally, a couple times a day, they're in these like kind of, it's like a table. You flood the table with nutrients and water, and then it goes back out. And that keeps the plants alive. So the roots are literally pure and white. If you go on YouTube, for folks that are listening, and just look up hydroponics, you will get a visual of what it is, because it's phenomenal. Like, just the concept behind it, and I'll tell you why we picked hydroponics. That'll give you kind of a better understanding of what it is. We chose hydroponics because it is able to be utilized year round. So it's not just summer, it's not just fall or spring or whatever have you. All year round, we can consistently produce high quality products. So that means that we have consistency in pricing, we have consistency in access, because everything is in a controlled environment.
Yep,
but
absolutely.
Hydroponics is water. It's water instead of soil.
Brilliant.
Yeah, completely brilliant. It is completely.
Thank you.
So give us like a little rundown of what the kids, participating in your center would do. Like, what does a day look like for them?
Well, so it depends on if it's summer or if it's school year, right? So we have kind of two different realms of the program. One is our full day immersion, which is summer. 8 weeks, Monday through Friday, you are doing character development, financial literacy, entrepreneurship in the morning, right? We're going to start every morning with a 7 a.m. workout. So for the parents that need early care, your kids are coming with us and you're going to work out. And if you don't want to work out, you can read. That's fine. But 7 a.m., high energy, crazy workout. Breakfast, going to your classroom. We're going to get into current events, right? What's going on in the world? What are you doing? What's happening? And I mean, not to talk about politics, but we have some interesting things happening in our country right now, right? So we want our kids to kind of be tapped into that and what's going on in the world. So they're going to kind of do a timeline of what's going on, and that'll happen over that 8 weeks. Then we're going to kind of delve in, and that's where we're going to do the work in the morning, is when we have their energy kind of up and their attention. And then every afternoon, swimming, basketball, activities. After lunch, literally spread your wings and fly. We're going to do a lot. And then every Friday is a trip, and not just kind of regular trips. Whitewater rafting, zip lining. We plan on catching Aladdin on Broadway. So, I mean, literally, I want these kids to be able to experience the world. And then after school, I call it summer expanded, right? So the clubs that we talked about. So if you're into photography, if you're into art, if you're into web design, we're going to put professionals in place to teach you and cultivate you developing a business with the folks that are in your club.
Right.
And then service learning, because service is a lifestyle. So on school breaks, right? Spring break sounds like fun. Oh, what am I going to do with my kids all spring break? Give them to us. We want to take them to South Africa. We want to take them to Haiti. We want to build wells. We want to build schools. We want them to understand that you can travel the world and serve hand in hand.
Yes.
So that's the program. It's immersion, full day in the summer, after school in the school year, and not just after school a couple hours. We plan on keeping them till 7:30 at night. So not just, rush home from work and grab your kids and go home, but it's get off of work, go home, cook dinner, relax for a second, parents.
Yeah.
And we'll have the kids. And then when you're ready to come get them, they'll be ready, their homework will be done, and you guys can do family stuff because you're not stressed out from running home and grabbing the kids.
And yelling at them for not doing their
homework.
Right.
Can't forget homework.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
babe, do your homework. What are you doing? No, turn that off. Do your homework.
Yeah. Yep.
Nope. After school power hour. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
So homework and snacks at the same time. So be on time because we're going to feed you. and you're going to do your homework. And that's your admission to your club. So, yeah, you want to go grab the camera and go do photography. But if your homework's not done, you're going to be very upset when everybody leaves to go do photography and you're standing here.
So then how can you do all this? Like, where is the equipment coming from? The
We're gonna
snacks?
buy it.
Okay.
So let's talk money, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about financial literacy for the kids, but urban gardening, right? So this is high quality produce. We're doing it better than the distributors are doing it, and we're lowering the price threshold because we're not carting it in from Mexico or somewhere far away.
Right.
So we're literally giving you perfect every single time, and we're selling it. So 65% of the lab is going to be dedicated to restaurant quality herbs, basil, thyme, dill, everything that you can think of.
Right.
And we're going to sell it to the local farm to table restaurants, and then we're also going to sell it directly to the community. The other 35% of the lab is R&D. So we're literally testing and trying out new things, whatever the kids are interested in. Strawberries, blueberries. I want to do grapes. I want to do Myers lemons. We're trying new things, but the heartbeat of it is going to be that lab. That's going to fund this entire program and eventually make it free for these kids. And I know it sounds kind of lofty goals, right? But if you really do the research and look into hydroponics, these fruits, vegetables, herbs, they sell at a premium because they're literally almost perfect. And a lot of times these organizations that are starting these kind of businesses, they're for profit, right? So all their money is going to their shareholders.
Right.
Our kids are our shareholders. So for
I
us,
love it.
the money goes back into the kids.
Yeah.
And we're not talking baby money. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars a year going back into these kids. And that's what's going to fund all these trips and all this great equipment and everything. So we're not pocketing this money. It's not for us. Yes, I'm going to get paid. I'm not working for free. Okay?
Right, exactly.
Social entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
So literally, we are looking to net just over $1 million net, not gross.
Wow.
So,
And it will happen.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it will happen.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So then so let's talk about more things because now we're coming to the end of the show. I know. I feel like time it just goes by so fast.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it does. Because I like honestly, we were so deep into it. We were just like dropping knowledge. So I'm like, you know what? Normally I have a what's trending, but I'm like, I don't want to do that right now because I really want to continue talking to like Naomi and Charisse because it is so powerful what you are doing for the community. Like 100%, honestly, like coming from my heart, like this is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
It floors me. It really does. That this was it's just, and honestly, like whatever, just talk about how they can find you. How can they support you? Just, just tell the listeners just everything. What do you have? Just tell them.
All right. So baseline, find us at tapestryforkids.org. So a lot of this is grassroots. I did this myself. So I made the website myself. It's going to get redone. Don't judge the view.
No, I like it.
I
love
website.
the video.
It's a great website.
You saw the video? Mike did our video.
I posted the video. I posted
cool.
on my Facebook page. Yeah, it's just to prep for this show. Like I shared your information. I posted it. I talked a little bit about you. Yeah. So
find us tapestryforkids.org. We also have a GoFundMe. So if you're looking for us, look for Tapestry for Kids, Fill the Tap on GoFundMe. I'm on Facebook. I'm not really kind of like into the rest of social media. So try to find me on Facebook. Email me on the website. My email is naomi@tapestryforkids.org.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then, Charisse, what do you have to say? What do you have to say about your friend? I'm so thankful that you came. I see Charisse on Facebook, but I've known, like, what is it? Elementary school.
That's what I was telling Naomi. I'm like, when I saw this, I'm like, this is our plug right here. So perfect. But yes.
Elementary school. Yes.
Naomi,
that was it.
Naomi is wonderful. She is passionate, and I just love her vision. Like, she's saying lofty goals. I don't think it's a lofty goal. I think that it can happen. I know that it can happen, as a matter of fact. And I just think that anything that's positive and anything that's giving back, like, it has to fly. It just has to. That's just how it just has to be, Right. And Naomi is so smart and just like meticulous, and she has put a lot of her time into her program, and it's going to be wonderful.
And so genuine too.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is just.
It's
I
truly
love
my
it.
passion.
I love it.
Like literally, I could do this for 24 hours a day and literally just do it because it's for the kids.
So before we close out and I play this song, Despacito, I love this song. I'm going to close out with it. Just one more minute. What do you want the people to know? Like, just if you can just sum up everything that we just talked about in a couple sentences, what is important to you? Why is it important to you?
Help the kids, right? About 200 kids. We're creating 36 jobs in the city of Trenton with this program. So not only is it the kids, but it's the jobs and really just the community at large. Because when we sow into these kids, we're going to be able to sow into their families, sow into their friend circles, and sow into every place that they go. So support us because we're literally here for the kids. So that's it, the kids.
Absolutely. I love it. And to all the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. That was just Naomi, and I had Sharice in the studio. And thank you so much for listening. I believe in you. Until next time, enjoy your weekend. I have Delilah Robin up next. And stick around. Now I'm going to play a little bit of Despacito. I love this song so much. I love it so much. And like I said, until next time, I will talk to you. And thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Sharice.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye.